Something I've always wanted to get is a test hood that I could practice doing detailing and testing various products on. Now I wanted something with factory paint and in decent shape. So yeah, this is a pretty sketch area here, but it's where the best junkyards are. So I just got back from the junkyard and H-E-B and Lowe's where I picked up the sawhorses that we're using for this hood. What we're gonna do now is get the paint really prepped for paint correction. So we're gonna do a rinse wash that's gonna remove any wax, any other debris. Then we're gonna use Iron X to get rid of any iron contaminants. And after an Iron X treatment, we're gonna clay bar this and then go over it with a buffer inside. Wait for this to soak in. After that, we're gonna rinse it off. We're gonna hit it again. What I'm doing now is I'm kind of looking to see what the imperfections are. All right, guys, so we're gonna soap up this sponge so we can start using it on the hood. Give it a nice, good washing. Flip the pad somewhere in the middle. And we'll rinse it, and we'll go over a couple of times. And, you know, I don't want to make extra work for myself later by doing a bad job now. The goal here is to start testing some products and chemicals and waxes. Go ahead and rinse off. I'm going to make sure my sponge is nice and rinsed. So I think we're done on the 2 passes that I did. I'm gonna save the rest of this green stuff for when I have to wax the 240. The wax on there is pretty much broken down. So I got the Iron X now. We're gonna apply it. This will remove the iron contaminants. Make sure to cap the stuff because later you'll be wondering what smells so bad. All right, so we're gonna start wiping this around with our sponge. All right, so that should be good. Now we can wash it off. Way less contaminants than I thought. I don't see a lot of purple. All right, we're gonna wash this stuff off. That's looking pretty good. So now we're gonna clay bar this thing. We're gonna go ahead and spray it down with detail spray. And now I like to spray a little on here. And basically you just wanna go through the whole panel and really picking up all the grime. So we just go around this whole thing. You'll feel as the clay bar starts to go fast where the surface gets really slick when it's clean. And it's surprisingly not bad again for where I dug it out of. It was just sandwiched between a bunch of other hoods, and the really nice guy working there was just helping me kind of dig through stuff. Occasionally you're gonna wanna stop and ball this thing up and then flatten it out again just to make sure there's not just a big layer of grime. Keep going until the whole thing is really smooth. And you always want to do this before you do any paint correction. Pretty much this entire process is what you would be doing to an entire car to paint correct a car. That's why they charge you so much money when they do it at a shop. So after a good wash, the hood is ready for polishing. It looks pretty clean, but there are some blemishes. We could see there's all kinds of scuffing here, as well as scuffing over here, and a bit here. A little more scuffing over here, and there is some touch-up paint that's been done along the edge. I'm not really sure what happened to it. Up front, this side is actually pretty good. There's a little kind of dullness in the paint that will polish out. My plan for now is to start with one side, get it polished, and show you a comparison with the other side. So guys, I'm gonna be using my Flex polisher, which has some forced rotation as well as oscillation. And I'm gonna be using my harshest pad. So I threw a little Adams detail spray on it for lubrication, and now I'm just gonna add a little of the heavy correcting compound. Let's say we're gonna do like this area. So guys, we're gonna call this one light pass. We'll clean it up. We'll see how deep we went, how much of the scratches we got out. If we need to go deeper, we'll know to go heavier on other parts of the hood. It's already looking a lot better, I'll tell you that. You can really see where a little bit of the paint's missing, and it's not a big deal. Again, for our wax testing purposes, it's these nice polished sections that we're gonna really use. It'll be a lot better once we go over the whole thing. So what I'm thinking is, we hit it again right here, and then we'll do the rest of it just as hard, and then we'll do the full 3-step. We'll peel the tape off, and then we'll really see the difference, and then I'll complete the other half of the hood. And the hood will be ready for testing then, and we'll be able to use it to test all our waxes, sealants, whatever we want to see. Bead maker, I really want to see bead maker's performance. Alright, so let's take a look at what the first step yielded. Should be a pretty nice result. That's a lot better. Still a little schmutz over here. Overall, that's a pretty huge improvement. Alright guys, so here's the result of several passes. I ended up going to a heavier correcting polish, and really some of the deeper marks I'd have to wet sand to get out, but this has done a really, really good job overall. So if you take a look here, you can see just how shiny and polished the hood is now. And if you look over on this side, you can see just how much duller everything is here. There's a very clear transition between the two sides. So we're gonna go back and do both of them and really get the entire hood nice and spotless. I just wanted to show you guys what the difference is, A and B, as we prep the hood and why we do it. So now that you can see the contrast between the two halves, I'm gonna finish the whole hood and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. I am done cleaning this panel up. I think it came out pretty good for what it is. Keep in mind, I picked it up sandwiched between a bunch of other hoods in a junkyard. It's been outdoors. Like, they're storing this stuff outdoors and in a big pile. I brought as much life into it as you could without wet sanding. Still some scratches that I just couldn't really get out. I did have a little boo-boo up here with chipping paint, and that was really just because somebody used touch-up paint. I'm not sure what happened to this car, but somehow they had inner damage inside of the back of the hood. And really, there are better ways of leveling and getting touch-up paint to adhere, and I may do a video on it. If you guys are interested in learning how to properly apply touch-up paint so that you get it nice and level and really pretty, let me know and maybe I'll do a video and we can kind of touch up this hood and get it looking as good as it can look. And you can actually polish the touch-up paint if you really get it to bond well. Whoever did this just globbed it on with a brush. One of the things I did to prep for tomorrow's testing is I washed it with isopropyl alcohol, and the isopropyl alcohol will decontaminate all the detail spray and all the other chemicals. Some of these detail sprays do have polymers and stuff that'll bond and create all kinds of slick surfaces, so just because it's detail spray doesn't mean it's not also kind of a sealant or wax. You do have to watch out for that. So in this case, it's all been sprayed down with isopropyl alcohol. It's all bare and clean. And what we'll do is layer on top of that now and find out how different waxes hold up and really get objective results for the products that we use on the hood. All right, guys, I'm super tired now. I think I'm gonna go inside and take a shower. I'm gonna do some editing and think about how we're gonna do the exact process. For now, if you guys could click like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I really love all that stuff, and I'll catch you guys really soon.